The just concluded Vanguard Economic Discourse, which came up at the Civic Center, Lagos, has ignited conversations on Nigeria's economic trajectory and the efficacy of President Tinubu's reform measures. AV1 News brings you highlights of the event.
The Vanguard Economic Discourse is an economic development thoughts leadership event hosted by Vanguard every year. Permit me first to point our attention to the purpose for which this event was instituted. For reminders, the Vanguard Media Limited runs on a tagline towards a better life for the people. This does not only guide our editorial content, it is also the philosophy behind all we do, including this discussion series.
The discourse theme, Reforms in an Era of Global Economic Uncertainties with Nigeria, brought together experts and stakeholders from various sectors of the economy. Representing the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, Dr. Tokwe Faswa highlighted President Tinubu's reforms, such as petroleum subsidy removal, as crucial steps towards economic restructuring.
It must be noted that the approach of the Bola Tinubu administration has been to take the ways and means situation head-on, setting very tight time limits towards resolving them, classifying the loans properly as part of national debt, and ensuring that any new debts are properly structured.
Chaired by renowned economist Dr. Ayo Teriba, the event featured a distinguished panel of speakers, including President of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Nasima Dele Oye, President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, and President of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, APCON, Alhaji Aminu Gwadabe. The CBN Governor, Dr. Yemi Cardoso, was also represented by the Director Risk Department, Blaise Ijeba.
The challenge of high inflation in Nigeria is driven likely by food inflation due to the rising cost of transport, of farm produce, infrastructure-related constraints, security challenges of food-producing areas, and exchange rate pass-through to domestic prices for imported goods. All of this have created uncertainty for businesses and for homes.
However, Dr. Ayo Teriba urged on the need for government to focus on its assets, while President of Nasima Dele Oye raised concerns about the current foreign exchange policies, attributing them to hyperinflation and emphasizing the need for stronger support for local businesses and currency stabilization.
In Nigeria, the country is competing with business. They want to tell you how to do it. They will even come for you. Even when you go to the office, they look at you. It's as if you are a refugee in your own country. This should stop. This is not right. So there will be proper respect for business.
Our own GDP has declined steadily over the last 10 years, since 2015, from $600 billion to $350 billion. So if that's what you are trying to tax or borrow against, our exports leads the decline. Then you are trying to rely on exports or tax or debt. You borrow against income, which is the error of the past decade. That both the Jonathan administration that was there when the oil and commodity prices collapsed, and the Buhari needed to find a path away from income dependence towards asset dependence.
The NLC President Joe Ajero also criticized government's reforms, alleging an increase in poverty levels and the lack of direct economic benefits for citizens.
Translates about $20. And that's the list all over the world. And for all that we have been discussing here, they are benchmarked, on dollar. Or the common factor we use, the cost of living index, in determining the wages. I want you to benchmark it probably a bag of rice. This is about 4,000 naira.
You're walking into people's shops.
I would only want you to ask people that refill their cylinder. Maybe 16,000, 17,000, you do it twice a month. Cook. It is like something thousand naira. I only want you to benchmark it to a plate of mama food at 500 naira. Without it. A family of 6, you are going to get 270,000 a month.
Meanwhile, Alhaji Aminu Gwadebe shifted the focus of the discourse to corruption as the primary driver of exchange rate volatility, advocating for better stakeholder engagement and root cause analysis.
It's very, very bad. With due respect to the representative of the government, when he was trying to justify the cancellation of license, he said of all surprise. The exchequer of UK cannot be a public forum come out here and say Govt is doing money laundering. This is perception of the country. Nigeria is registered by Financial Action Task Force. So if we did not, our leaders do not protect their operators in media and say they are associating them with money laundering, with terrorism financing, those countries are looking at their writing. And the next time they come, this guy is not taking. Instead of going out of the ladies, we are going to go to practice.
However, Mr. Bismarck Ruwane stressed the importance of institutional reforms and credible policy implementation for effective economic management.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, not prior to licensing growth traders for themselves. That the abuse of the growth trading sector was meant a work and Central Bank at that time. And then later on, we now turn around and say it's growth trading. So there's a lot of inconsistency and contradiction. So one, I think, is an attempt to sanitize the market, change the structure, but there's a fundamental issue. Secondly, there's a big difference between if you are fighting terrorism or fight terrorism. If you are addressing the value of currency, that's a different. You do not commingle the two things. If not, you are going from a simple equation to a quadratic equation. It may not know. So my suggestion is that there should be